5 on your side at 10 starts now.
Taste of winter. It's coming for the second half of the weekend and brings our first widespread hard freeze overnight Sunday. The latest trends we're seeing tonight and how long the cold snap lasts.
No confidence. The message tonight for the person in charge of an animal shelter plagued with problems. Our top story, pandemonium breaks out at a high school house party.
It just got a little out of hand. It just kept spreading and spreading,
causing at least one injury and tens of thousands of dollars in damage. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Kelly Jackson has the night off. Tonight, a St. Charles County mother is demanding answers and asking police to find out who assaulted her teenage son at a house party that spiraled out of control. As 5 on your side's Brent Solomon joins us to explain. It happened Sunday night with no adult supervision. Brent?
Mike, that's why the 16-year-old who invited some of his friends over told me he called 911. While on fall break, he thought he'd have some friends over, not knowing it would lead to a mass of other teenagers showing up that he doesn't even know. It's an O'Fallon, Missouri house party full of teenagers quickly turning into confusion and violence.
To just disrespect someone's property with no regard.
Amber Gibson got word her 17-year-old son was struck in the head with a flying chair.
His friends got him to the hospital. When I showed up there, he was already being stitched up.
I got 7 stitches in my head and a golf ball sized lump on my head now.
It happened after this gathering in the Preston Woods neighborhood. 16-year-old Kaylin Homer tells me while his father was away, he decided to invite some friends over to watch football. But then
Someone I don't know invited this guy from Timberland, and then he leaked my address. And then it just kept spreading and spreading.
He says it happened on a social media group for people looking for local parties.
If I'm 16 and all my friends are coming over and more people are coming, I'm thinking fun. No?
No.
You weren't thinking of, what were you thinking?
No, I was thinking this is crazy.
The back door didn't lock, so we were trying to hold it shut, and there was like 100 people at the back door.
Take a look as a flash mob ripped out part of the kitchen counter, punched in a television, shattered several windows, and left a hole in the wall. All as this teenager is rushed to the emergency room.
And then you saw a couple kids celebrating, so we're going to get to the bottom of it.
I reached out to O'Fallon police, but I haven't heard back. That mother has a meeting with investigators tomorrow. I also reached out to local personal safety expert Michael Barbieri, who says if a flash mob ever happens where you are, leave right away. He says don't try to confront large crowds of people, just get out and call police.
We're following a developing story out of Louisville, Kentucky tonight. 7 people are dead, 11 more hurt after a UPS cargo plane crashed, causing a massive fireball. This happened just after takeoff from Muhammad Ali International Airport. Large plumes of smoke and fire were spotted on the tarmac and in an industrial area nearby. Witnesses reported seeing debris falling from the sky.
And it's little debris and stuff, like little white pieces of probably the plane. But yeah, there's definitely debris all through here, probably within 10 miles.
A shelter in place issued in a 1-mile radius around the airport. It was issued. 3 crew members were aboard the UPS plane, which was headed to Hawaii. We're told 4 of the dead were not on the plane. The NTSB is en route to Louisville to start the investigation. All right, turning now to your weather impact forecast. A calm and mild November night across St. Louis. And Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell says it's going to stay that way a few more days before we take a bit of a dive as far as those temperatures are concerned.
Oh, yeah, they are going to take a turn, and it is going to be one that maybe, I guess we'll put the positive spin on it, perhaps ends the ragweed season for us. Maybe ends the mosquito season for us, but temperatures the next 4 days are still at or above average. We were 73 degrees today. We are down to 60 tonight in St. Louis. Outlying areas have just dropped back into the 50s. We do have a few high clouds around. They will be thinning out later tonight. And when you get out the door tomorrow morning, temperatures are starting out in the 50s. And by 8 o'clock, we'll jump up to 58 degrees. We'll stay in the 60s, close to 70 tomorrow. But the coldest air that we've seen since March 6th is set to move in here Sunday night into Monday. Temperatures Monday morning will be in the 20s. The actual air temperatures, all of us will have a hard freeze. Some of the outlying areas are in the low to mid 20s. The growing season will totally end. If you have some potted plants outside, you probably need to get them inside before Sunday afternoon. And also before Sunday afternoon, disconnect and drain the garden hose, because these are the temperatures that can cause it to freeze and burst. We will see in a few minutes. We'll talk more about that colder air surging our way.
It's election night in Missouri. The polls closed 3 hours ago, and the results are still coming into the newsroom. There were about a dozen propositions being decided tonight. In St. Louis and Jefferson counties, Proposition S was on the ballot. That's a tax levy increase for the Rockwood School District, one of the largest districts in the state. The measure failed by a little more than 500 votes. Voters rejecting raising teacher and staff salaries while increasing their taxes by a few $100s a year. In the Melville School District, voters overwhelmingly passed Proposition A. That's the levy that would generate an estimated $1.4 million annually for school maintenance and safety without raising the current tax rate. And in Bellefontaine Neighbors, voters approved an additional 3% sales tax on marijuana. It passed with 58, almost 59% of the vote. All of tonight's results are running at the bottom of your screen. You can get them sent straight to your phone just by texting the word results to 314-425-5355. Some big races in the Northeast tonight, shedding light on how voters are reacting to President Trump's policies. In Virginia, Abigail Spanberger flipped the governor's mansion back to Democrats. Democrat Mikey Sherrill also won a hotly contested gubernatorial race in New Jersey. And in New York City, Democrat socialist Zohran Mamdani becomes the youngest New York mayor in a century, beating former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Well, within the last 90 minutes, the St. Louis County Council overwhelmingly approved a vote of no confidence in the county health director following an ethics report into her handling of the county's animal shelter. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski was there for tonight's heated meeting. Laura.
Mike, 6 of 7 St. Louis County Council members say they do not have any confidence in Dr. Kanika Cunningham to run the county's animal shelter, not only because of what happened with her dealing with 19 dogs with parvo, but also with what happened during recent budget meetings. The St. Louis County Council passed a resolution sponsored by 6 of its members saying they believe Department of Health Director Dr. Kanika Cunningham mismanaged the county animal care and control shelter on multiple levels, including poor communication, questionable employment practices, and a disregard for procedures.
Dr. Cunningham is incapable of guiding the St. Louis County Animal Care and Control Shelter and Department of Public Health in the right direction, and therefore the faith and trust bestowed unto her is fractured and unrecoverable.
Council members called for hearings after the shelter failed to get a license 3 times and 19 dogs with parvo were euthanized.
That's unconscionable. These are the vulnerable ones, and we have to look after the vulnerable ones. That's what we're charged to do by the state.
Following more than 13 hours of testimony, the Council Ethics Committee drafted a report that led a majority of the members to a vote of no confidence.
At every turn, Dr. Cunningham tried to thwart our efforts by the document dump, by not producing witnesses like we had asked.
I don't have a problem with Dr. Cunningham in her role in the Department of Health, but I do think the way the animal care situation was handled and mismanaged is warranted of this resolution.
Councilwoman Lisa Clancy says she had problems with the report, citing misspellings and inaccuracies.
I don't believe that the report provides a sufficiently fair or accurate foundation for a no confidence decision.
Volunteers spoke during public comment about the importance of the shelter.
Since I started volunteering in May, I have seen shelter employees and volunteers alike care for these animals the way they deserve to be cared for.
Glad that things are better, but during this season, it was a mess.
The resolution also called for hiring more employees and the creation of an online dashboard to better oversee how the shelter is doing. Reporting live in Clayton, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
It's day 35 of the government shutdown, and tomorrow it becomes the longest on record. This as food stamp recipients and federal workers continue to live in limbo with benefits and paychecks. Just hours ago, the Senate failed for a 14th time to pass the House-approved clean stopgap funding bill. Democrats continue pushing for health care provisions. Republicans say they won't budge. A big show of support tonight for military families at Scott Air Force Base caught in the middle of the shutdown. A food collection was held outside the Shiloh gate. Many service members still don't know when their next paycheck will come.
And you think about a young airman sitting in the dorms. Maybe they have food through the dining facility, but a young family who just moved here and their pay, they hope they get paid. So doing a food drive, and maybe especially as we approach Thanksgiving, doing that and thinking about trying to take some of the burden from them.
The donation drive continues from 3 until 6 tomorrow and Thursday at Scott Field Heritage Air Park. They're collecting non-perishable foods, personal care items, household goods, baby formula, and diapers and pet food. St. Louis County is stepping up to help people relying on SNAP benefits. The Department of Public Health and the St. Louis Integrated Health Network handed out 500 hot meals and 900 cans of baby formula. Organizers say restaurants and area food banks help make this event possible. If you need help or would like to donate, we have a full list of organizations collecting and distributing food. Text the word food to 314-425-5355 and we'll send it to your phone. She came to the land of the free for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
In this moment, I feel scared, sad, terrorized.
Tonight, the new fight for an immigrant who now calls the St. Louis area home. It's a miracle weight loss drug in high demand with a high price tag. Tonight, the possible deal on doses to give more people a shot.
It's a cold shot that plows into our area this weekend. Why it'll feel more like January by Sunday afternoon as gusty winds deliver the cold air.
It's been exactly 3 months since local Boeing machinists hit the picket lines, and tonight the aerospace giant is receiving some pressure from Capitol Hill. Members of both the House and Senate Armed Services Committees sent letters to Boeing's CEO today urging the company to return to the bargaining table and negotiate in good faith. Missouri Congressman Wesley Bell and Senator Tammy Duckworth of Illinois are among those lawmakers. Last week, Boeing rejected the union's latest counteroffer that promised multiple pay raises over 4 years. We've reached out to Boeing for comment. We have yet to hear back. Tonight, a woman is sharing with 5 on Your Side her experience being an immigrant in the United States right now. While Nicaragua is home, she moved to St. Charles County for a better life. New at 10, Justina Cornell sat down with her to hear her perspective.
25 now.
Rallying and raising awareness. Jetty Castillo has always used her voice.
I had the opportunity to fight for our rights, human rights, not just workers.
The Nicaraguan native joined Missouri Worker Center in 2023, linking arms with other laborers.
I'm very emotional and excited to be a part of this group. That's our hope, to get there and everyone can listen, so we can all unite. Only the united front can be the force.
That's when she understood the power of unity, a much-needed mindset after moving to the United States in 2019.
When I made the decision to move here, half of my heart and half of my life stayed there. But with the hope to come here, to have new opportunities, economic ones, safety, that was the motivation, because I had hope to come here.
As a current construction worker, she built her own home in the St. Louis region.
We are neighbors. We didn't come to attack anyone. We didn't come here to take anything from anyone. We only came to work hard.
She moved to the land of the free to find security. As an immigrant in this country, it's a life she longed.
In this moment, I feel scared, sad, terrorized, because we have to work to live, and to work we need to leave. And if we leave and we don't have the safety in the street or jobs or to get food, that's not a life. We didn't find what we were looking for. In my case, I didn't find what I was looking for, that protection, better life, conditions I did not find.
Castillo continues to fight.
My motivation is my family, the security and stability for them. The second is dignity, respect, valued in this country. That's what we need to live in peace.
Castillo is surrounded by a strong force. That's why she's in front of a microphone again.
I want to get to as many ears as possible to share what we're going through. Not just immigrants, but citizens in this country.
Whatever the cause, Castillo has made it clear she'll always use her voice.
I have the hope in this moment that we will accomplish something. We will accomplish to have what we're dreaming for and accomplish the dreams that we left our country for. Unity brings strength. That strength gives us power. That power takes us where we need to go.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
And Castillo encourages folks to join their monthly meetings if you want to learn more. Consumers could soon get their hands on those popular weight loss shots for much lower prices. Sources say the Trump administration is close to making a deal with makers of Wegovy and Zepbound. Those drugs could be available as low as $149 per month. Right now, they cost more than $1,000, and they're not covered by most insurance. The deal would also cover Medicaid patients. All right, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell rejoined us now with the weather impact forecast after a beautiful day. We understand about a week from now, Scott, it's going to be much colder.
Yeah, by the time we get into Sunday, it literally will feel like we've moved into December, into January or February. That cold air is going to be coming in. Now, we're a little late on our freeze. The average first freeze in St. Louis, November 2nd. That came, we got to 33 degrees. We did not make the freeze for the average first one, but a hard freeze is on the way for everybody. Some of us did make it below freezing over the last couple of weeks, but for the most part, the really cold air has stayed up to our north. We're going to get blustery here as we head into Sunday, and the cold air is going to be surging in as this upper level system, the jet stream, dives to the south, and it's pushing the cold air all the way into the southeast, places that aren't really used to it at all. Not that we are at this point, because low to mid 20s. We haven't seen that since last March. 28 degrees in town Monday morning. So hello, January, a hard freeze for all areas. The good news that we have for you is that this will bring an end to the ragweed season, and it should bring an end to some of our buggy problems too. Monday and Tuesday morning, temperatures in the 20s for most of us, certainly on Monday morning. Tuesday morning, we may be closer to 30 in town, but disconnect those hoses so they don't freeze. Here's your temperatures right now. Hard to believe that in just a few days we're going to make this turn, but right now we're still close to 60 degrees in St. Louis. Temperatures even in the low 60s, where there's a bit more of a breeze tonight for some of us. The wind out of the south at 11 miles per hour, 73 today. That's the warmest day we will have this week. Overnight lows holding in the 50s. Tomorrow, it's another pretty bright day across the bi-state area, pushing temperatures back into the upper 60s. By the way, mentioning the bugs, the stink bug forecast here for the next 5 days. Frank, you were waiting for this. It's high Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even on Sunday. The stink bugs will be trying to get in and away from the cold air that's coming in. By Monday and Tuesday, there's your temperatures dropping way off. I don't think we're going to get much rain over the next 7 days. There might be a spritz or two as we head into the weekend with the cold air surging in, but that's it. It's the cold air that really comes blasting in here during the day on Sunday. Temperatures may actually drop into the lower 40s Sunday afternoon. Wind chills will drop back below freezing Sunday, and the temperatures will actually follow as well, down into the 20s by early Monday morning. That'll be our first hard freeze, really, for most spots. A few places have been down into the upper 20s, but low to mid 20s, that's a hard freeze on the way.
Yeah. All right, Scott, thanks. Big changes. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, it's a sportscast about St. Louis guys. Somebody from CBC could be the best in America, and a coach at U City is resurrecting the program. I thought when freshman quarterback Matt Zollers arrived in Columbia this summer This was going to be a guy who was not going to get on the field. He had the same chance of getting on the field this year for Mizzou as I did. At least I thought that. I mean, you had Sam Horn, Bo Prabula ahead of the kid. He's not playing this season, right? Injuries changed it all. And stepping front and center in his first collegiate start against the third-ranked team in America is Zollers. Texas A&M wants to hurt him. Coach Drink wants to develop him.
We really were adamant throughout spring, throughout the summer, and even in fall camp to really focus on 3 spots to make sure that Matt was getting developed, because we knew he was the future of the program at the quarterback position, but the future is now. I think it's important for us not to put too high of expectations on Matt. He does not have to win this game by himself. He's got a really good core of players around him. We just have to play complementary football in all 3 phases.
College football playoff rankings released tonight. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, and Mizzou is number 22. Former Mizzou star wide receiver Will Franklin is doing a heck of a coaching job at U City. The Lions haven't had a winning season in 11 years. They're 9-1 now and have 9-1 Orchard Farm next in the playoffs. The Lions have a magnificent new field, which makes for a great practice environment for the kids. And to the surprise of no one, with Will coaching, they are traveling. They have a sophisticated passing game, and he has changed the program.
Dramatically, man. I remember hearing kids saying, "Oh, I'm never going to U City," to now hearing kids across the city saying that's a school they'll love to go play at because we have nice facilities, man. So that's half the battle. Putting a product out there is the other half of it. So I think we have kind of checked off those 2 boxes this year.
What does Coach do special?
Special, just push us more than anybody else has ever done, honestly, and make sure we know that we can do something great. We got a lot of talent. We just got to work for it.
Love it when our St. Louis kids thrive on the big stage. And Jeremiah Love from CBC is arguably the best running back in America and will likely be the first running back picked in the NFL draft. Why not? On Saturday, more proof against Boston College. This is a 94-yard jaunt. The Notre Dame junior rushed for 136 yards. He's almost at 900 yards with plenty of time left. How about 33 touchdowns in the last 2 years? Today I met his father, Jason, a retired city cop, and asked him, what's it like knowing his flesh and blood is the best in the country?
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, I knew he was good from the beginning. I knew he was better than most. But right now, I think he's probably one of the most dynamic players in college football. And I'm too proud. I'm not proud enough to say that he is probably the best in college football. It's just amazing, man. I just can't. It's unbelievable.
And when he comes home, can you still tell him to make the bed?
Yeah, I still have him take it out the trash.
SIUE went to the tourney last year, and they came out flying tonight in the opener. Jack Campion to Joe Valerie for the dunk right there. Later, it's going to be Ring Malith hitting the tray. The Cougars pound East-West University out of Chicago 119-50. Despite the win last night, most would agree the Blues still need toughness. Milan Lucic is all about toughness. The Blues signed him in the offseason. He got hurt in camp, he's healthy, and will now play in Springfield. Don't be surprised if this 37-year-old is wearing the blue note soon. The Blues saw the Oilers superstar Connor McDavid assist on both Edmonton goals as they went up on the Blues last night. No surprise because of McDavid's speed and skill. But with defenseman Philip Broberg assigned to McDavid, that was it as the Blues came back to win it 3-2. Broberg was all in after getting the assignment.
Another team we have acronym MDM, most dangerous man. And I added a W for him because he's the most dangerous man in the world in our sport. And when I looked up and I said it, and Roby was like really intense, like looking forward to the challenge intense, which is what you want from your players.
We hope last night was not an aberration. They play in Washington Thursday.
They need to get a winning streak going. Frank, thanks. Turkey and the fixings all in one bite. The Thanksgiving meal you can enjoy on the go. It's been through the 7 levels of the candy cane forest, through the sea of swirly twirly gumdrops, and the Lincoln Tunnel. And now Buddy the Elf's iconic outfit could end up in your closet. The actual suit, worn by Will Ferrell in the 2003 holiday classic Elf, is hitting the auction block in London. It includes the yellow stockings, curled toe leather shoes, and Buddy's hat. Bidding ends on December 5th. It's expected to fetch more than $250,000. Subway is putting Thanksgiving dinner on a foot long. A new limited edition holiday menu includes Turhamkin. That's turkey, ham, and rotisserie chicken, topped with a new stuffing and cranberry sauce. The sandwiches go on sale next Thursday. I think I'll just have my turkey and stuffing at home. There you have it, 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 5 a.m. Have a great tomorrow and stay safe.